Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday edition of Xbox Nation. A little short-handed tonight. I got Blackie Lebowski here. I got Too Much Food here, but sadly, Mooch is helping Donald Trump with one of his campaign stops, helping to make America great again. He's very much Team America, so that's what he's busy doing. So wasn't able to make it here tonight, but we're gonna do our best to kind of soldier on. It's been a while since hadn't had my little sidekick with me, so that kind of sucks, but. The hell is that, dude?
Blackie could be your Robin.
Anyway, hey, yeah, I can hear your music, or I can hear somebody's music. What the hell is that?
No, that's no music here, man.
Yeah, oh, okay. You know what that is? That's the thing starting back, like the actual page starting back. So anyway, thank you guys for taking time out to join us. We do got a lot to talk about today. I want to actually keep it a little bit slightly gaming because there's a lot of cool games that have recently come out. Gears for one thing. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Gears 1 or Gears Ultimate, #1 on the UK charts. Apparently, it's done very well in the US. That's what I'm hearing as well. People are loving it. I think it's fantastic. This is what I'll say. The campaign is great. It's quick. It's not going to be a 20-hour campaign. If you play it on the hardest level, you might get 14 hours out of it. I mean, if you really suck and your partner kind of sucks. There's a few parts that are going to give you problems. Maybe you guys have played through it. Blackie, do you remember the part at the theater when you split up with your partner?
Well, yeah. There's a few parts in the game you have to split off.
That one in particular, the theater one, is one where you'll have trouble on a harder difficulty level, just because you're alone and there's a lot of stuff happening and they're strong and and it's difficult. But overall, the campaign is good and it looks good. But what I like most, obviously, is the online stuff. And what they've done is given you an updated Gears. So even though it's an older campaign, the multiplayer is fresh and new because it's at 60 frames per second. It means a world of difference in that game. And the dedicated servers, like if you ever played Gears 1 on the 360, it was really bogged down by host advantage. If you had host, you could tear through everybody with the Nasher. It was terrible. Lancers were irrelevant. And it had limited maps at first, and then it had them later DLC or whatever. This one has all 19 maps. They all look great. You have 60 frames per second. It's just really fantastic. I mean, what are you guys feeling about this game?
Let's talk about Gears of War for a second. I mean, let's really talk about it. Gears of War, what you have is a franchise that is almost timeless in a sense. You have a franchise moving forward. It can go in so many directions. But what you have at hand that really is awesome for all of the Xbox gamers is you have the proof, you have the evidence that these developers care about this franchise, and there are many franchises that are going to be coming that have this same advantage, Scalebound, Quantum Break, and all this other stuff. It really shows me, what Gears shows me is that they can make a franchise and get a following unlike anybody else. I'm playing Gears of War again, and my whole friends list is playing it, and I'm having... It's fluid, it sounds better, it looks better, it's 60 frames per second. They delivered on everything they promised, and like I said, the community is thriving. And so when I look at other systems, even Nintendo and Sony, I look at the multiplayer exclusive games, the games that are only available on these systems. How receptive is the community? And you just have Gears. We're not talking about Halo. And nothing compares to it. This is why I play Xbox, and that's really all I have to say about Gears.
It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I could remember the day that I played Gears of War on the 360, and I saw it in HD, and I knew that was next generation gaming. And it's crazy that I could say the same thing about the remake on the Xbox One. I thought it would just be the remake that I had in my mind, but it's totally different when you play it. I mean, the quality that you get out of it, how much work they put into it, they really took care of this franchise and updated it, makes it feel brand new. And I got that same feeling that it was next generation gaming on the Xbox One, the same way I did on the 360 as soon as I started playing the multiplayer in 1080p at 60 frames per second, no stuttering, no frame rate issues, no screen tearing, the servers were solid. There's no connection issues. I mean, it is next generation gaming. And the sad thing is that people or companies like Sony and Nintendo can't keep up with an old game that's been remade. It's just hilarious that a remake is outdoing the best that Sony has, but it's great for us.
Yeah, you know what? The thing that I like about it best is like, and this goes back to 2013 with the Xbox One reveal, and they talked about those dedicated servers. I think that all, especially first-party games on all these consoles, should have dedicated servers because it doesn't make sense not to, right? You want that. That's what next-generation gaming. That's what I wanted out of it. It was like I never had a resolution in mind or frames per second in mind. I wanted a smooth-running game for sure, but what I wanted was better AI. Larger worlds, more intricate things. I wanted dedicated servers. Certainly, I'm a big multiplayer gamer, so that was very important to me. And Gears does that. And what do you guys think about this? Right? Microsoft needs to do really well in two areas: North America and the UK. And what they've done so far, and they have a good chance at keeping this up, is they released Rare Replay by Rare, which you guys know is a UK-based developer, was #1 in the UK for a couple weeks. Now Gears of War Ultimate, #1 in the UK, and they're going to follow that up with another popular UK franchise in Forza Motorsport 6, which is coming out in just a couple weeks' time, or less than 2 weeks, and then that's going to be followed up with Gears of War and Tomb Raider. I mean, I think they're doing all they can to achieve great success in North America and the UK, the two biggest markets. Those are the two markets that led them to so many sales last generation. Even though the Xbox 360 maybe didn't do as well in other countries, it did particularly well in those two areas, and so that's what they're trying to do again. I mean, what do you guys think about that idea? Do you think that was probably a plan by design?
Go ahead, Blackie.
Hey, as far as territories go, I'm not too familiar, and to be all honest, I was a big PlayStation guy last generation, so as far as where the territories are at is with the Xbox and where they're strong. I know America is big as far as the UK, not too sure, but I think right now, no matter where you're from, they offer a lot of things that are good for the universal gamer everywhere. It doesn't matter. So maybe it was by design, maybe it wasn't. I really can't speak on it because I don't keep up like where their focus territories are. But I don't know. It doesn't matter if I was in Holland or Germany. I'd want an Xbox One. But it's I think something different.
I think it was orchestrated. I mean, you don't accidentally make these great games and line them up a month apart, and it's a good thing because we already know the European gamers, they love cars. Cars has a big culture, a big following over there. It has a huge history, and what they want
Top
is
Gear stuff, which is what Forza does.
Absolutely.
So
and Top
Gear that's why it does well.
And Top Gear being involved in that, they know that they're passionate car enthusiasts, and we nab the right people to help out in Forza, right? They nab the right people and that are involved in the racing series to get these tracks, some tracks that have never been in racing games ever, coming onto Forza and on the Xbox One, being able to put water puddles where puddles usually end up in tracks in real life, like. I forget what racer it was. There's a professional racer that said, I have played multi-million-dollar racing simulators, and I've never played anything more detailed than Forza 6. So
I was hate to cut in there, Mooch. I mean, not Mooch. Dude, sorry.
Go ahead.
But Red Dragon did a video. He was doing a comparison, and you're right. Food like. They got puddles in the right place. Like, you're hitting these puddles. It sounds like you're hitting the puddle. He had the comparison of Drive Club, and I know a lot of Sony fanboys are gonna get really mad about right now, and I don't give a fuck. You gotta get over it because this is how it is. Your YouTube is right here. You can go click a link and watch somebody driving in the rain. Drive Club, you're watching it, and it looks like somebody just took water and splashed it on the fucking game. That's what it looks like. It looks pretty. It looks shinier. It looks like water's been splashed on the game. You can still see pretty clear. There's a lot of detail. The color still pops, and it looks, pretty detailed to be raining. Forza, on the other hand, looks like you're fucking driving in the rain. Like, it's misty, it's gray, and people were like, "Oh, this, Drive Club looks better." It's like, to me, I don't know, man. I seen that video, and I wanted to just mention that, but a lot of people are going to get upset. Because it's not about, it is about the detail and the graphics, but That's what I mean. Forza takes it on such a real level, like the different. What do you call it? You have the tarmac, the pavement, all this different surface area that you drive on, and then you have the damage, and then the customization. And Drive Club, they're barely doing shit. And it's like, how do you even go to make the comparison? And I don't know, Forza is going to be amazing. I can't wait for this game.
And they can't make the comparison, and that's the beauty of it. So over there, they got Rare Replay. Gears is doing wonderful. Forza is coming out there, and to top things off, it's also a niche for sports fans. But FIFA also comes on Xbox, and they have marketing deals with FIFA. So if you want a console to play your soccer game, and you're a big follower in the car culture, and you're a fan of Rare from back in the day, and you're a Gears fan, I mean, there's only one console you can do all of this on, and it's Xbox.
Yeah, people were wanting me to talk about this Forza 6. As you guys know, or may not know, I'm a big Forza guy. Here's basically how that came about. Forza 1 and 2, I think everybody maybe buys a racing game when they get their console just to mess around with, or you have friends come over, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I was with Forza 1 and 2, and even Project Gotham Racing. I own all those as well, but it was just more of a casual pickup. When Forza 3 came out, I bought the Game of the Year edition. It was it came with all the extra tracks. It was 2 discs. And I played that, and it was just so much content, and it handled well. It handled better than any other racing game I've ever played, and it was just fantastic. And from Forza 3 on, after I bought that, I knew I had to have every Forza day one. Forza Horizon just, again, was like, it's like a totally different franchise, and that's brilliant upon itself. But yeah, I thought Forza 3 for the 360 is exactly what Forza 6 on the Xbox One is shaping up to be, because for me, that sense of speed on that indie race that you play in the demo, I was just like, holy shit, you're going at like 245 miles an hour, and you feel like you're going fast. And to me, that's the biggest difference between a game like Forza Motorsport and Drive Club. Both of them are closed track racers, but for some reason, with a lot of Sony games, they go for things that aren't really important to make the gameplay well. They'll go for, and they'll lower things that do, like the frame rate, right? 30 frames per second for a closed track racer is too slow. You always feel like you're going super slow with that game, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever played Mario Kart, but when you play it like the 30cc races, those seem extremely slow. And that's what Drive Club felt like to me. When I was playing Forza 6, especially in the rain, it's not just rain, but it changes how you have to drive, because you'll slip and slide through the puddles. You hit those puddles. It sounds better. It's real tracks. It's real cars. It's real physics. And that's what Drive Club isn't. And that's, I thought it was funny today, because I've been away for a couple of days, really. And, like, I know a lot of people don't understand how I do things on my channel, but I upload things days in advance usually, and then if I'm busy or something, that just keeps the content flowing. And then I was on Twitter today, and people were actually talking about Drive Club versus Forza 6, and I was like, how can Sony fanboys talk about that game anymore? It's a certified bomb. The studio is basically closed. You know what I mean? The game dropped to $20 within 6 months.
Don't even get started. Like this.
Yeah, it was, bro. I have it. It's one of the worst racing games. It's actually the worst closed track racing game I've ever played. The lack of content. There's only something like 70, 75 cars in it. There's very few tracks in it. They penalize you for everything. Go off the track for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you get penalized. There's very little forgiveness in that game. It's just not a fun game. And comparing it to Forza 6, I actually think Forza 6 looks better, it sounds better, and it most importantly plays better. So Sony fans will have to take that L. I realize that they get really upset. Do you guys notice Sony fans, if they don't have what can be considered the best, they flip the fuck out, right?
And crap,
oh man,
I'm here to
Go
tell
ahead.
you, man, like, they will get upset. You said that Forza looks better than Drive Club, and that's your opinion. That's okay, but to me, if the game was so good on your system, if it really demonstrated the power that Sony promised you in the beginning, you wouldn't be making that comparison. You wouldn't have to. It would be so far ahead of what this shitty Xbox One, what it could possibly do. There would be no comparison at all, and they have to make these comparisons. And like I said, if you really, you can splash some shiny shit on a painting or whatever, and that's kind of how I look at Drive Club. Like, it plays like shit. It has these cartoony fucking hands up there. Okay, you have a very limited amount of cars. I don't know about the damage. I'm not sure how that is. I know that Forza has been way ahead as far as damage. Exactly what's going on as far as your car, different areas of the car, like drag, the heat of the tires. They really go all out, and they give you a lot. There's a lot of stuff on screen, but the Sony fanboy, your ass pirate fanboy, they don't want to hear that shit. They want to say, 25 million sold. Even though this game was promised, they held it back. There was a bunch of drama with them, getting it to people like they, originally said. All this happened. But fuck that. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take Drive Club. Forget Forza. Forget that it's a long-standing franchise. That the team behind it is well funded. That they're gonna give you a good product. This. Forget all that. I'll take Drive Club. I'll take Quantum Break, a few indies, and I'll spend the rest of the time on Crap Gamers channel talking shit in the comment section.
Yeah, and you know what's frustrating? You know what's frustrating to me is that as a racing fan, I remember I used to love Gran Turismo on the PS1 and the PS2, and then my brother got Forza on the Xbox, and he said, "Hey, you got to try this out." And I kept saying like, "No, like I like real racing games." And I thought he meant, when he was talking about on Xbox, I thought he meant like Project Gotham, And then I tried out Forza, and that turned out to be the best racing game I ever played. And to this day, it holds that standard. And what bothers me is that the real racing enthusiasts, the real car enthusiasts, they're supposedly supposed to want the realistic game, the most refined experience, right? And Forza can offer you the realest tracks up to the little gravel and pebbles that end up on the track. You can see the treads in the damn tire. You can see the water come off the wipers on the windshield. They have 14 microphones sitting around the car, shifting gears so that they can pick up the real sound out of each car in real life. I mean, this is the realest experience for gaming on any console, PC, anything. It doesn't matter.
Well, food it's a trend. There's a trend. It's not just with racing. It's not just with Halo. After you have more than a couple of, what you have is you have.
Hear ye. We got Iron Wolf in here. What's up, Iron Wolf?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, appreciate you inviting me to the show, man. And you know who it is. And all I can say is Xbox One with a WON.
Oh yeah. Hey, Iron Wolf, dude, you're a big Gears guy. I know. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. What do you think about, like, as being a longtime Gears fan? Does that, like, to me, Gears Ultimate Online feels like a completely new Gears experience. The 60 frames per second dedicated servers make a huge difference. What about for you? I mean, is that your thought as well?
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. It feels like a next generation experience, man. Like, you play that on 60 frames per second with dedicated servers at 1080p, everything from maps and all the assets all redone. It feels like a brand new game altogether. I just don't understand why, people are complaining about this game, especially IGN with the, with the A button thing, and then GameSpot. GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. I really didn't understand any of that, but I gave it the score I thought it should have got. You know what I'm saying? Although, look, when you improve a game, when you actually give a score of 9.6 10 years ago, right? And then they improve everything from the graphics to the online, all the assets. You improve everything, and you give it less than 9.6. Anything below a 9.6, I think they're out of their mind. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.5. And the only reason why I did that, it was just because I think that they did everything really well with it. I was really excited for it, and I think just for me, given a score like a perfect 10 or something, it takes a really special kind of game to get a 10. Just in my opinion, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because you probably may have given it a similar kind of score before, which is understandable.
Yeah,
these people gave it a 9.6, so if they improved the game, I would expect more.
Or how about who was that, Giant Bomb? They gave it a 4 out of 10. Which, in my opinion, that's trolling at that point, because they gave God of War 3 Remaster, which did nothing, an 8 out of 10. So
that was really a patch. That's all it was. That one was really a patch at 1080p 60 frames. It was the same game as a PS3. It looks the same too.
It's what
I mean, it does.
It's what I was saying. You have something going on where Microsoft, at least they're being consistent with these games. They're showing care. They're showing that they give a fuck about their franchises. Like what you've been saying, Gears of War, from the sound, the online, the servers, everything has been improved upon. And this is going to apply across the board. They're showing you this with Halo, with Scalebound, with everything. And this is a good thing. You're seeing it with Forza. They're well funded. They're using that money to make the games better for us, the gamer. And Sony, on the other hand, Wolf just said it. They're putting shit out that is literally the same thing. This game's not even 10 years old. God of War. You can't tell the difference side by side. They're literally saying they're sparse for games, and the media they're gonna give Gears of War a lower score than they are God of War, even though everything that I'm saying is absolute fact. No, I didn't make any of that shit up.
Yeah, but like I said, Lebowski, Food, and Crappy, speaking of God of War, you know how they remastered the third one, or I'll say up-res port? They said they're celebrating the 10th year anniversary of God of War. When you do that, you release the first God of War. You don't release the third one that was on the PS3. That's the bit I didn't understand. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
It was a 10-year anniversary, but they gave you the third game, right? I mean, to me, yeah, that was a little bit weird. And the reason, and there's reasons why they did that, was because the third one was better than Ascension, which was the fourth one, and they would have had to go back and do work on the first one. You see what I'm saying? Because it was a PS2 game, so they would have had to do what Microsoft did with Halo 2. Or Gears Ultimate, right?
They wanted something where it required less fucking work.
Yeah, less work. That's the same thing with, like what are they going to release? Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. Those games are already really good looking. I'm the first one to admit that. So really, there's very little work that's going to go into those games because they're not heavily gameplay reliant. It's just really, really not. And I think that's what Sony does. They like going like the cheaper route with what they do. What's so funny?
No, but I'm just saying, Crappy, on the real though, like, anybody that wastes their money on this game is completely out of their mind, because you could watch those games on YouTube and get the same experience. Just hold the controller in your hand and pretend to be playing it. Just when you see the button prompts, press the button and it'll be like you're playing it. Yeah, why would you want to pay money for Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain? It don't make no sense.
Yeah, shout out to Rad Brad. I watched his playthrough of Until Yawn.
Hey, shout out to Rad Brown. I stole his gameplay one time.
The horror movie I watched
straight out of gameplay.
I felt, all honesty, no fanboy shit. I don't want to come across as that. I'm not that at all, man. It looked kind of interesting. Like, hey, this would be okay. But for $60, look what else is out there. It just doesn't add up to me. For about 8 years now, I've been noticing that. Like, the Maddens, and no offense to anybody who likes that, Maddens, Call of Duties, all these games, it's like, I see something like Halo 5, like they can't sell it for more than $60 because of the market. People won't buy it. But yeah, you have games that are annual releases where they don't put that work in. And so, I really look for games where they put that work in, and Xbox has them by the bundle. Like all their exclusives, they have that trait. I think it's the shit.
Yeah, hey guys, let me ask you this real quick, all right? Because we as Xbox fans called out Microsoft earlier in the year. For the lack of like the AAA exclusive, something Sony fans have yet to do. I've yet to hear anyone say, yeah, you're right. They haven't put out a game since Bloodborne, and they're not going to put out another AAA until Uncharted 4, a year later. So, like PlayStation fans won't admit that. Xbox fans will admit that. We strive for better. We're the ones that made the Xbox brand better. They listen to what we say. We wouldn't even have got Gears Ultimate. Iron Wolf, you were one of the ones leading the way for that. You know what I mean? I mean, they've recognized that. They said, hey, the fans, you game with the coalition. I know for a fact. You were like got me in touch with Jack Felling from the Coalition. She's talked to me on Twitter and things like that. So I know like you're definitely good in with that developer, and you know what's up, and they've given you your props for everything, and you were the one that kind of spearheaded this whole thing. So that proves that they're listening to the fans. You know what I mean? And what they did was they gave us an updated Gears of War Online, because Team Deathmatch and all that stuff wasn't even in the original Gears of War Online.
No,
so what they've done is given us basically a Gears of War Online type game, and that's going to hold us over till Gears 4, and I think that's phenomenal fan service. And for $40, and you're going to get the entire Gears collection digitally in November via backwards compatibility. You get the Gears 4 beta, all for $40. That's phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about it. I put up my Gears Ultimate review yesterday, and it's gone over. Yeah, I put it up there, and it used to be back in the day. I would just, if I did a review, I'd put up another video too, because I didn't think very highly of my reviews, just honestly. And now it's like to the point where I'm like, you know what, I do what I want to do, and if nobody likes it, then that's okay. You know what I mean? So I put that up there, and it stood alone, and it does its own thing, and people have seemed to really enjoy it. And of course, it gets its haters, but everything I do gets haters, you know what I mean? But anyway, what I was saying was, as Xbox fans, when I saw the Forza 6 launch trailer, the day after we saw that Halo 5 cinematic, I was thinking to myself, man, the first thing that came to my mind was Sony fans have got to be feeling bad right now, because they don't have anything like that. Halo 5 to me looks like the first quadruple A game. And what I mean by that is just the amount of money and effort and care that has gone into this game. It looks phenomenal. I mean, that just looked amazing to me. You don't even have Master Chief in these commercials yet. You know what I mean? This is just, and for me, Buck was the favorite part of ODST for me. So seeing that was amazing. I mean, what is your guys' thoughts on that? We saw these two kick-ass trailers back to back. I mean, what did you guys think?
I was dumbfounded, bro. I woke up and I watched that trailer, and I was so pumped and ready to go to work. I felt like I went to the gym, and my muscles were swole. I honestly felt like the first time I know this may sound super nerdy, but the first time I seen Star Wars, I got that feeling. I was so amped.
You damn nerd.
I am a nerd, but it was just amazing. When they drop down from above, and you got that grand scope of things, right? I was watching one of the ships explode to the right, and you can see all the little rooms inside that ship that's exploding. Buck is in it, and I loved him in ODST, so I'm glad to hear that he's been promoted from ODST to in a Spartan project. I mean, and no longer do we have to have this series be carried by the Master Chief. Now we have this elite squad that we could also relate to and enjoy alongside Master Chief, Cortana, Dr. Halsey. Everybody's in there. So I am pumped. I am ready for this game. I got the week off of work. I'm ready for this.
You speak of quadruple A games, I think you have to mention Quantum Break in that line of games, because the actors that they've got, the graphics and everything moving forward.
Dude, I agree. The Xbox games they're the ones that are giving us as far as I'm concerned, I've always said this from the beginning, those AAA games, those big budget games, those are why I buy new hardware. The indies and stuff, I'm through hating, because I've already spoke my mind on this. Occasionally there's a decent one, but for the most part they're fun for about 5 or 10 minutes here or there. But I'm not going to invest my time in something like Soccer Cars or or the Deer God. Look, I'll give an Xbox example. I don't even know if that's on PlayStation. But I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on that game when I could be playing Gears or Forza or Halo. You know what I'm saying? And I think the only reason why Soccer Cars gets hyped up by PlayStation 4 fanboys is because, let's fuck it and take the gloves off, they ain't got shit else to talk about. What the hell else do they have to talk about? They got nothing. They got dick, and they know it. So they go on this offensive and act like they're a bunch of hard asses, and they act like they're tough, and they act like they're so great, and the PS4 is so powerful. Bitch, if your PS4 was so powerful, then why the fuck does all the best-looking games on Xbox One? That's what I would say. Why the fuck do all the better-looking games on Xbox One? And PS4 fanboys, that eats them up, because, again, they're still damage control and going on sales and shit like that. I don't really care about sales. It's not about sales.
What's amazing is that, man. What's amazing is that you say, why do their games look worse? And the funny thing is that the PS4 does have a bottleneck, and it's the CPU. The Xbox One has a better CPU. It's the same one, but it's overclocked, and on top of that, we have the cloud, so we could actually focus more of our graphics processing onto the game, as opposed to the PS4, where it can't really do much with the graphics, because there comes a point where it gets bottlenecked by the CPU, and then they could start dumping off some CPU coding to the GPU. So therefore, the chances of them really pushing out a game that looks better than anything that can be done on Xbox, it probably won't happen at all this generation, at all.
Well, that's why you don't see no NPCs on screen and on a lot of these PlayStation 4 exclusives. Like, infamous Second Son, you probably only see like 2 or 3 enemies on the screen at the same
And they're
time.
stupid and they're dumb. That AI is terrible.
Yeah, it's like 3 pigeons.
That's what I'm saying.
It's awful. Yeah,
and the
it's
order,
awful.
man, you didn't see that many on there either. And it's just crazy. Like when people are bashing the Xbox.
Dude, Iron Wolf, you're talking about the Gears killer, according to the media and the fanboys. The order. That's the Gears killer right there. A game that's third person, 800p.
Somebody actually said that. Crap. Somebody actually did bring it up. Like, this could be the Gears of War. I think I seen the video from very popular YouTube was saying that with the right mechanics, the Order 1886 could be as big as a Gears of War, better than a Gears of War. And like I said it again, they're going to have to start. These games are going to become quadruple A games because of things like the cloud, dedicated servers, funding by Microsoft. Like, all these things matter, and I think, I don't know, we have right now gaming for a long time. You've seen it in my gameplay, the Battlefield 4 helicopter. I got a level 11 PSN trophies. Like, I've been gaming a long time, and there's never been a better time to have a console. PC gaming, they do what they do, Dota 2, StarCraft, all their niche games that they have. But I'm saying, as far as console goes, Xbox is pushing the fucking bar. And there's some butthurt ass pirates. Because let me tell you, whenever we get that Halo, whenever Forza is going to be here, do you think they're going to be playing any games? Hell no, they're going to be on our YouTube channels talking more shit. This is only going to get worse. And the fact is, they could easily just get an Xbox, but there's so much hate and just ignorance, and the media has brainwashed people so bad. Even with everything we're saying, Gears of War, Quantum Break, let's break it down. I don't want to sound like a fanboy. Halo, you have the existing catalog of games. Sunset Overdrive, the Elite Controller,
Forza Horizon 2, Dead Rising 3, Titanfall.
Get your Xbox today. After hearing all that media has told you, sit down and start playing all these games, just the exclusive games. You don't even have to get into the frame rate of The Witcher, one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. You don't have to get into those details where some of these games are running better on the Xbox One, just the exclusives. And you're going to be sitting there for a long fucking time. And this console doesn't have games. I need to be playing some fucking Journey, Flowers, shit. Are you fucking crazy? Black Lebowski, you don't play that shit. I play Xbox. That's where the gamers is at, man. They actually care about their games, and it's becoming very relevant now. And
let me tell you something, though. This is the way I see things, right? The difference between the PlayStation 4 exclusives and the Xbox One exclusives is like the Xbox One exclusives, they outshine the multiplats, while the multiplats outshine their exclusives. You see what I'm saying?
Good point.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about too is that with what you just said, Iron Wolf, I was thinking about how like a lot of multi-plat developers are afraid of like developing on a Nintendo console because they got to compete with Nintendo games on their own console, because all of us know here that Nintendo games sell, right? But if Sony has these games that are lackluster or don't even come out with games at all like they're doing this year, it entices these multi-plat developers to make all these extra things for their consoles and push hardcore for their console. So I actually think Sony loves the idea of not having fucking games, and for some fucking reason it's working.
Oh, and the difference when they're exclusives, the difference is, Xbox, they give you an exclusive game, you take it home and you play it, you enjoy it. PlayStation, your exclusive comes with a bottle of lube, a Dear John letter, and a bunch of greetings, son. Because you're going to be done with that shit in a few hours, wondering why you ain't playing Halo, and like the Twitter, all that stuff is trending towards Halo and Gears.
Did you say Dear John?
It does. Like their games, you open them up. You open up a PlayStation game, and there's a little bottle of lube. It says, apply tenderly, because your asshole's going to be hurt by the time you get done with this game, and it has a Dear John letter. It says, these developers have been fired. They're gone. This franchise is no more. Go fuck yourself. You're not getting a Halo. That's never coming. And they go on our chest. Why do you think they leave the comments they do? I mean, these motherfuckers come with hate. Like the
They
KKK
do.
just try to burn a cross in their yard. Like, hey, look, dude,
Yeah.
I got the trophies, I got the achievements, and I love video games. And if that's what I'm saying, when I'm playing that helicopter in Battlefield, and I'm murking the fuck out of the whole map. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like Halo is the shit. This game, Battlefield, is okay. Gears is okay. Gran Turismo is down the shithole. So
Yeah, did you hear that? The last Gran Turismo only sold like 2.6 million copies or something. That came out today. I mean, that was like, and that confirms what I've been saying for years, which was Gran Turismo never stepped up, never stepped their game up, never evolved. While they sat there and watched Forza Motorsport pass them right by. You know what I mean?
Gran
Like,
Turismo's dead.
I remember.
Gran
I said it already. I think me and Crap discussed this one time that we're probably not going to see Gran Turismo till 2019. The franchise is irrelevant, man.
It takes
And I'm really-
It takes forever. Like the last Gran Turismo. Remember they had the prologue. They had the prologue. I remember that shit.
And then you had to wait 5 years for the actual Gran Turismo 5.
yeah.
Correct.
Not only that, all right, they're making Gran Turismo 7 right now, and they're said that they're going to use assets and cars and tracks from the PS2 still. From the PS2. How the hell are you on a PS4 and you're going to put cars and tracks from the PS fucking 2? That makes no goddamn sense to me. That is unbelievable. And the fact of the matter is people will still damage control this game because they're going to go, look, Gran Turismo 7 has 1,500 cars, but then you go, how many premium just made for this game? Oh, well, 250. And they're gonna just hype up the fact that it's got 1,500 cars. Not gonna talk about the fact that a lot of them are PS2 and PS3 renders that look like shit.
And
It looks like shit.
And a lot of these cars, if you're a real car enthusiast and you really listen, most, if not all of the cars on Gran Turismo, they don't even use the authentic sound of the motors. So you're hearing some pre-rendered bullshit from the PS2.
Yeah, there's
every sound of every car sounds exactly the same on Gran Turismo. The engine
And in Drive Club they do that. They all sound the same. They sound, you know what I'm saying?
the cheap cars on Gran Turismo, like the ones I'm talking about, they have like the cabins are not accurate whatsoever. They look like shit. It's like quantity does not beat quality. Never has, never will. You can bring me 10 pizzas that all taste like shit. That's okay, man. I'd rather have one pizza that's cooked right, has the right ingredients on it, has been made by, a pizza maker that actually gives a fuck about his job.
You know what?
I don't want the 10 bullshit pizzas. I don't want to waste all that money.
You know what it is, Blackie? Is that when somebody goes to a GameStop or wherever it is that you go, and they look at Forza and the back of it, and the back of Gran Turismo, and they see, wow, Forza has 800, 900 cars. Oh, Gran Turismo has 1,500. Oh, let me get this. This is better. Because that's the society we live in. They look at these two numbers. They don't care about doing the research at looking for anything else. They're going to buy that piece of shit game.
It seems like Sony fanboys, where they fall short, they really do. It's like they try to take all these ideas and everything and put it on a spreadsheet. They try to play a game of numbers.
Look at Sony.
Every time, it's something called the user experience, customer satisfaction. It's like at the end of the day, look, which side is acting more, out of character? Like, I mean, I've heard Sony fanboys, they're talking about threatening the voice actress in Tomb Raider. I mean, this has happened. There's a lot of things that have happened. And so at the end of the day, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. It's like I'm happy with what's going on, and everything we're mentioning, this isn't happening on the PlayStation. Like, maybe it's coming, maybe it's not. But like I said, they don't have these big franchises that stick around. And
well, let me ask you guys this, because I named this. I always name it Xbox versus PS4 something or other. Which console has the better future? And I'll go over the immediate future for the Xbox One, and then you guys can try to come up with anything that the PS4 has to kind of match this. We're getting Windows 10 with a new user interface on the Xbox One. Everybody's getting backwards compatibility come November. We're getting Forza, Halo, Fable, Tomb Raider, plus all the other games that are coming this holiday. You can play your Fallout 4. You can play, if you buy that on Xbox One, you get Fallout 3. If you buy the new Rainbow Six, you get Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 free. They've got all these kind of promotions going on. They've got a new Xbox Elite controller very reasonably priced in my opinion for what you're getting. They have an Xbox Elite bundle that looks absolutely fantastic. I'm glad they went to the black box, to their old thing that got the Xbox 360 up there, calling in an Elite. I think that's fantastic. So you have an Xbox Elite coming, and then you know what I'm saying. And then early next year, you're going to have three new IP. You know what I mean? You're going to have Quantum Break, Recore. You're going to have Scalebound. That's going to be later in the year. But it's like they're really listening to what people want. They're doing monthly updates. The future. Look at Crackdown. Cloud-based computing that everybody laughed at 2 years ago, and now we know it's realistic. And you can get 100% destruction with a 2 megabyte download speed. That's it. That's it. I mean, that to me is moving the industry forward. And Kaz Hirai had the balls to go up in front of a group of people at a show in Germany and say that PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation brand has unparalleled innovation. I nearly spit out my drink reading his words because I'm like, what the fuck is this guy on? I'd like some. You know what I mean? Because
at
go ahead.
the game show, they're showing off, what is it? The Taken King DLC.
I know.
Is that why you're so innovative, Sony? Please, I'd love to know this.
That shit pisses me off. That's like something that touches my nerve because, again, who the fuck launches a brand new console for DLC? Nobody fucking does that. Is my next fucking, burrito at Taco Bell gonna be Taken King as well? Like, who fucking does that? Desperate people with no games on their console makes a brand new console.
Yeah, I never ever heard of a custom limited edition console based on DLC. That shit made no sense to me. And let me just put this out there. I've really tried. Like Crappy, you have a PS4, and I don't know probably the last time that you played it, but I ain't played mine for a while.
I downloaded Peggle 2, man. They were selling Peggle 2. I love Peggle 2 on Xbox One. They had it on sale for like $2 or $3 on PS4. I was like, hey, let me hook this thing back up. You know what I mean? Let me download this. So yeah, I bought Peggle 2 just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? For $2 or $3 because I like the game. You know what I mean? I already got all the achievements I could on the Xbox version. So I did download it, but I haven't got the new. Is there a new update that came out or something for it?
A 3.0, I believe, and the UI still looks the same. It has not changed. Yeah. So there's nothing to see. There's nothing.
Yeah,
to watch.
they're never going to update the UI. They're never going to update that. That's just how it is. That basically is the same UI as the PSX from back in like
2003.
Yeah, 2003. I think Jamie Moran sent me a picture of that, the UI from the original, and it looks just like it does now. I mean, there's very little changed in it. They're not going to update that. It's functional. Some people are minimalist and like that. Props to Microsoft for trying to give us something a little bit innovative with theirs. It's a little bit slow, so they're going to give us the new one, which is basically Windows 10 on our Xbox Ones, and I think that's fantastic. I'm really excited for that. I wish I was in the preview to get that because I see some people already have it.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I want people to understand why having Windows 10 is going to be a big deal because ever since Windows Vista, there has been Windows 7 and then Windows 8, 8.1, and Windows 10. Ever since then, Windows has been being less harsh on requiring power. So the further we go in upgrades for Windows, the more power frees up in your computer. And this is true, and the same thing for your Xbox. So your Xbox, when you get Windows 10, is actually going to become more powerful, and it'll be more powerful for free. So Sony doesn't do this at all, period. And here we are giving power away for free. And here we are giving power away for free with DX12. And here we are giving power away for free with the cloud. I didn't
even mention DX12. Yeah, I wanted to point that out too. Right now, what we're getting, you look at Forza 6, and it looks that good, and it's playing that great without any kind of DX12. They're using DX11, some kind of modified or something like that. A lot of games will be able to update some DX12 implementations right from that are already out. They're going to be able to get patches and things like that. But the real interesting parts are going to be when we get games built from the ground up to run this. And I think just as Xbox gamers, we're much happier, as far as I can tell, with with what we're getting. And the future looks much brighter because what on the PS4 matches any of the stuff that I just mentioned on the Xbox One? I can't really think of it.
Most of the games, some of the best games on the PS4 are running on last generation engines and games that are equivalent to DirectX 9. You know what I'm saying? Like Destiny is a DirectX 9 equivalent game, and then we have Call of Duty that's heavily promoted by Sony, another DirectX 9 equivalent game that's running on the old 10-year-old Quake engine that they really need to change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But hey, that's
they
another.
do. They tried their damn best to make that play like Titanfall, man. The wall running. I think they probably thought that Titanfall was going to be a little bit bigger game. You know what I mean? Like they thought that but basically, when you have a game like Call of Duty that's on multiple platforms, it was on PS3, PS4, 360, Xbox One, PC. It's hard to compete with that just on a couple of platforms. You know what I mean? So I wish they wouldn't have spent so much time. It seems like the last two Call of Duties specifically are really future-based and kind of play a lot alike. I did like Black Ops 3. I thought it played well. There was some issues. I played it on PS4. It was super laggy. That was a big problem on there. I played it on Xbox One. I got booted to the dash about 4 or 5 times. So but it ran smooth when I actually got to play a game. The only problem that I had that was like kind of pissed me off on the Xbox One version was, and I don't know if this is a problem on the PS4 version because I don't have any PS4 friends. I was trying to party up with people on the Xbox One, and Black Ops thing says my NAT type is moderate, right? And nobody can join your game if that's it. So I check, and my NAT type, according to Xbox One, is open, but according to Black Ops, it's moderate. So nobody can join me. I can't join anybody's party. It was a big kind of boondoggle of bullshit. You know what I mean? So again, that leads me into a good segue of Activision, because Activision is getting away with a lot lately. They released these terrible, terrible ports of what the hell is that game? Prototype 1 and 2, right? These are basically just backwards compatible versions for like $40 a piece on Xbox One.
Well, they're releasing
PS4.
Deadpool as well, by the way. Do you know?
Yeah, they are for $50, right?
Wow.
And this is the thing. They're the only developer not on board with backwards compatibility, right? Why aren't they on board with this? Oh, that's right, because they want to sell you games for $50. I have Deadpool on 360. Why not just enable backwards compatibility? Because you know what? It's not going to be an upgraded version. It's just going to be another basically straight port, from last gen, and they're going to sell it to you for $50. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? Activision, who usually gets a lot more hate than they are, the only reason they're not getting more hate is because Sony's in bed with them. Look at what they're doing. This Taken King thing with Destiny, I don't know if you guys are Destiny fans, right? But apparently this Taken King's DLC, it came out that the game that they're going to release on disc, right? They're saying that is actually just Destiny, the base game, with a code for the Taken King. So basically, all this stuff is stuff that probably should have released on Destiny to begin with, but instead they really wanted to charge everybody $160 for this, for the complete quote-unquote Destiny 1 experience, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and that Activision and Sony's not taking any of the heat on this, and I think Call of Duty, because now it's being promoted by Sony, people are like, oh yeah, now they're all Call of Duty fans. How often did we get told the Xbox was the dude bro box, right? The shooter box. Well, look at Sony now, huh? Let me sit there and laugh at this shit for a minute, because who's the goddamn dude bro box now? You got them promoting Destiny. You got them promoting Call of Duty. You got them promoting Battlefront. Last time I checked, those are 3 shooters, right?
That's all they have. I mean, the Tokyo Game Show list, you had Battlefield. You had not Battlefield. You had Call of Duty. You had the the Star Wars game. That's why I thought of Battlefield 40.
Battlefront. Yeah, you had Battlefront.
Yeah. You had the PES. You had some bullshit, like some kitty little like shit games, and that's what I mean. Like moving forward, I'm thinking Uncharted is going to be a really, it's going to be Uncharted. I
pre-ordered it, and I like those games. That was like the first one to admit that, man. I'm like, I like that series. People always act like I hate everything PlayStation. I love God of War and Uncharted. I think those are really good series. I own every single PlayStation console and handheld. I picked up a Vita not long ago. Why? Because GameStop was clearing out their stock for $99. I got the Vita Borderlands 2 bundles. That's a good deal for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love Uncharted. The first one was my favorite. The second one was really, a cinematic thrill ride, and it got like a lot of perfect scores. The third one, I played it. It was okay, but I felt like, it didn't. Something's kind of missing here. And so the fourth one, we'll see how that works. But the theme is like moving forward. What are we gonna have? And you talk about they had the update, they have Uncharted, and I'm thinking of all the games. They need that big multiplayer game that is a flagship title that says this is PlayStation. Like it doesn't. This character doesn't need to have a name or a story everybody understands. I don't understand Master Chief's story. I'm a huge Halo fan. The gameplay, the online, the innovation is what pulled me into that. And the PlayStation, they still haven't got that. So if they don't get it with Uncharted or pull something out their ass, I'm telling you, somebody at Sony, you need to fucking hire me over there. I would get
What?
I would get Warhawk 2 going. That shit would be balling. I would have Twisted Metal. I would make sure that you had a fucking sick-ass racing game. I would do shit. But that's not happening no more. So as far as the future goes, with cloud computing, you're talking about the Elite controller. I mean, that's something that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. You're talking about SCUF is huge. People spend hundreds of dollars and they wait time to get their controllers customized. Here we're going to get a controller that is from a first, like company, a first-party controller from Microsoft, a big company that has the R&D to actually build something of quality, and it's gonna. I'm telling you, a lot of people are gonna fucking want that system just for that. So moving forward, we'll see what Sony has. Like I said, they need that multiplayer game, but I don't know. I don't see that.
Well, hey, I know you want to jump in, Food, just real quick. Like, for me, I'm not a Bloodborne guy. I don't like the Souls games. I bought The Order. Why did I buy that? Because that came out around the time that I got my PS4, and I wanted something, like Rise. I wanted something graphically to show me what it could do. I think everybody does that. They buy that graphically kind of good game. And so that's why I bought that. And so the next exclusive that I'll buy will be Uncharted 4 a year later. And then after that, your guess is as good as mine. Horizon looks good, but I have my doubts as to whether it's going to be out next year. I think that's going to come out in 2017. So that means with Uncharted coming out in March, Sony is basically giving up on next year's holiday as well, because they're not going to have something to go against. Guess what? Gears of War 4, Halo Wars 2, Sea of Thieves, Scalebound, Crackdown are all going to be Forza Horizon 3. How can I forget that? All coming out the second half of next year, guys. So, I mean, what does Sony have to compete with that? Just off the top of my head, like, I want it to be a competition, right? Like, competition is great. Where would we be without the competition? We wouldn't be nearly as good, because, look, PSN Plus paved the way for Games with Gold, and now Games with Gold has surpassed PSN Plus as far as the games you get. Xbox Live helped. Clearly PSN isn't nearly the level of Xbox Live, but that's what they want it to be. So going back and forth like that, is definitely a good thing. What's the future like for the PS4? What is it? I mean, what do you guys see?
I think it's just more of the same that we see this year. I think next year is going to be, Destiny, the new asshole bundle, and then...
Well, yeah, Destiny 2 is coming out next September. Sony's going to market the hell out of that. Yep. Soccer, I see someone's put right in soccer cars too. But seriously, how can they compete, because you can get all the multi-platform stuff on Xbox One. What is Sony going to have to lure people in or to fool people? Because I keep saying this and people don't understand it. This gen isn't going to last as long as last gen. We are 33.3% done with this generation already. We're done. Right, 33.3%. What have you got on the PS4 that has made it worth it? Where you can say, "Oh, that's worth it." You know what I mean? There has been nothing. All the best PS4 games were on PS3.
They're going to use the whole fact. They're going to use their marketing. They're going to use they're going to have these weird words making you think that Batman's exclusive. They have the Batman deal. They have the Assassin's Creed deal. They have the Battlefield deal, the Call of Duty deal, the
all
Destiny
stuff that
deal.
I have on Xbox One that I have coming on Xbox One.
And that's exactly what they're going to use. They're going to say you can play this a month early. You're going to have exclusive DLC for 3 months. They're going to use all that stuff, and the thing is, why they're doing that is because that's money that they don't have to use to make an exclusive game. They'd rather market that crap, and people are going to buy into that shit. My prediction is next year their hot sellers are going to be Uncharted and Final Fantasy VII if it comes out next year. And that's it.
The PS4 man, it's simple, guys. It's simple. The PS4's future is a dark room, a laptop, a lonely person, and they're watching Crap Gamer and complaining 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Hey, Blackie, you've been in my comment sections lately. How are they, man? Because I don't have a chance to go in there often anymore. Is it pretty bad? I was thinking about going in there one time and just taking control.
I'm like, this is how your comment section is. I'm like, red team, go! Red team, go! And I put my helmet on, and I get on my computer, and I make sure I got some grenades over here, and I fucking go in, man. I go in, I fucking pray for my life. It's like D-Day. It's just like D-Day in your comment. I'm telling you, the reason why I say this, guys, is because of everything we've been saying in the video. The PlayStation, I used to be a huge fan of it. Moving forward, I don't see anything, competing as far as a level of, on an innovation level. Just you think about what Xbox has done from the beginning until now. They're just running circles around the PlayStation. It's not funny. Like the PlayStation just standing there watching the Xbox run around it, and they're getting fucking dizzy because their head's moving so fast. That's what's happening in the innovation side. Now you look at the games. Now what's going on the game side? Now they're listening to people. Iron Wolf. We're in a fucking podcast. Everybody, you're listening. You're in here with the dude who started. There wouldn't be a Gears game, as far as I'm concerned, if this man didn't get it rolling. Maybe
man. Look, the community, we all got together and we made our voices heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Crappy made a video about it that saying, look, basically everybody made a video about it, tried to put the word out, and Microsoft listened, and it happened. And we got technically we have a collection. You know what I'm saying? We got all the 4 Gears games on the 360. And we have a remake for the Xbox One with that next-gen treatment. So we have the full package right here, along with the beta.
There's a bigger thing at hand, though, Wolf. There's a bigger thing at hand. From where I'm looking, we didn't hear shit about a Gears, but you as a person, I know you. You're somebody I can talk to. You started something. You said, hey, I want this, and these people said, I want it because Gears is huge. And the point of it all, the underlying point of it is Microsoft fucking listen. They actually listen, and they're continuing to listen. On a game standpoint, they're listening. They have fucked up before. They had the scars and the bruises of fucking up and having the entire world against you. They know what it's like. So they're in a position to basically learn from their mistakes and push forward. And that's what I mean. You look at the innovation side, they're winning. The game side, they're winning. Customer satisfaction side, you can go on any site where this is documented and people are talking about their experiences. The Xbox is winning hands over fist. People are more happy with that purchase. I know a lot more people who have a PlayStation sitting around in their house that they don't use as much. The Xbox One, hell, you can plug an HDMI cord into other spot, and now you have at least some functionality with it outside of gaming. This is a console that is in the living room. I'm not 8 years old. I like watching other things. Microsoft has thought way ahead, and that's what I'm saying. They got these games. They're getting more games. Crap just said a whole bunch of stuff. Quantum Break, Sea of Thieves. I forgot about that. You have Scalebound, and like these games are going to be huge. We say Scalebound.
Halo Wars 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like we're getting Crackdown. We're getting there's Killer Instinct Season 3. I'm super excited about that. I've been playing as Rash on Killer Instinct right now because they gave you early access to it. It's fun. He's like a super, really good character. I like what they're doing. They're listening. They're like I said, the games that I mentioned are all second half next year, right? And I'm looking at Sony's side and I'm thinking, well, what the hell do they have next holiday? Even looking ahead, how can they be that daft and that stupid? And do they really? Are they that like full of themselves right now where they think they can't lose this or they can't, what I mean? I wonder that. I'm like, because they've got cocky before, and I've seen some smaller blog sites mention that, hey, are we seeing Sony get real cocky again? They raised PSN prices in the UK and in Europe, right? I mean, they're getting very complacent, you know what I'm saying? And I think that could lead to their downfall because at the end of the day, who's spending $400 for a console to play soccer cars? You know what I mean? I mean, that should be like something you play for 5 or 10 minutes. But people want to play SOCOM. They want to play Gran Turismo. They want to play new God of War, a new Uncharted, a new Jack and Daxter. They want to play these games. That's the PlayStation I knew. That's PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. That was the PlayStation I knew. Sly Cooper. These are the games that you want.
Crap, I'll tell you, they've been resting on their laurels, and they haven't cared since summer of 2013. They realized the power of the media. They realized how easily influenced these people were, just by what they could say. They understood this and they capitalized on it like a motherfucker. And to think otherwise is completely insane because they don't have no fucking games. There is no SOCOM on the new PlayStation 4. We're 3 years in this November and they still, like I said, they're still not that big multiplayer exclusive AAA. Killzone's the closest thing, and I mean you're talking about.
Nobody's playing that game anymore.
Killzone's boring as shit.
Nobody's talking about it. It's sardines. To me, that shit is sardines, son. I want a fucking lobster, and I don't play fucking Killzone. That's not how it works.
Until Dawn just came out just a few weeks ago, nobody's talking about that game no more. The game is dead.
The media tried to make you think that you wanted it, though. The media wanted to. Right?
They're trying to make it relevant. They're trying to make it more relevant than what it actually is.
Bro, throwing ketchup on some sardines don't make it no fucking steak dinner. Like they're trying to make that shit. They're trying to make that shit special. And from what Crap was saying earlier when he was talking about where he thinks Sony is just being cocky again, a part of me wants to say that they are being cocky, but another part of me wants to say that they're being desperate because the rest of their fucking company is going downhill, and that's why they crowdfunded fucking Shenmue. That's why they crowdfunded their new fucking watch that they got coming out, because they're fucking broke, and then they're trying to rely on Uncharted to save their console, and they don't have any other IPs to use because their other IPs died. They went the way of Gran Turismo.
Yeah, you know what? I think that again, what are they're saying this is the last Uncharted, which I'm highly dubious of that because this game will sell well. That'll be the best-selling PlayStation 4 game. Just because a lot of these places will give Naughty Dog games a free pass when it comes to, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Naughty Dog made this game, it's perfect. Right? Look at The Last of Us Remastered. That game launched on PS4. It was really buggy. It had a lot of problems. But still, I got a free pass. Same thing with Metal Gear, right? Like, I don't have this game. I know a lot of people love it, and they say it's great. But look, a lot of places gave Metal Gear 5 a 10 out of 10, and the online's broken, right? Yet they docked the Master Chief Collection for broken online. They docked this game for broken online. They say they didn't get a chance to test out Gears Ultimate Online, so let's give it a 7 out of 10, right? There's a bit of and I know a lot of you people want me to talk about this whole Machinima thing. That was a story 2 years ago, right? A company that Microsoft hired to do PR for them hired Machinima to do product placements and to talk about games. That's up to Machinima to let people know that it's a paid endorsement, not Microsoft's fault. So anytime you guys see product placements in the shows or whatever, or look, like Sony gives IGN Sony TVs, so that's product placement when you see in the background. Whenever you see, like, I don't know if you guys have 1-800-ASK-GARY, it's like a lawyer referral service. Those aren't real. I know you know what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah. Those commercials aren't all the time, right? So those aren't real doctors or lawyers, and it says so in the fine print at the bottom, right? It's the same thing. Microsoft has said that they didn't know anything about it. This was a 2-year-old story, and the FTC fined Machinima for not disclosing that fact. Nowhere was it in a contract that Microsoft said, hey, don't do this or do it this way or mislead people. Microsoft was in no trouble. Machinima was in trouble. But if you want to talk about FTC fines directly affecting companies, then look no further than Sony, because Sony just got hit with an FTC fine over misleading advertising for the PlayStation Vita, and they've also been in trouble for misleading advertising on things like Watch Dogs, and let's see, what the hell else did they have?
Killzone.
Yeah, the resolution on Killzone. They're the ones under direct fire from the FTC for misleading consumers, not Microsoft. So if you guys expect me to sit there and go, oh, okay, well, Microsoft fucked up or Microsoft did that, you're barking up the wrong goddamn tree, because I'm not stupid and I understand how this stuff works. And Microsoft in no way, shape, or form said, hey, be deceptive about this. That was Machinima's call. So, hey, you want to blame someone? Blame them. I don't watch them anyway, because it seems to me that they do nothing but hate on Xbox anyway, like all these other sites. But again, I'm not one of those people that says boycott these sites, because they don't give a shit about the Xbox gamer at the end of the day anyway. They don't care if you go to their sites. So it doesn't matter if you boycott them. You know, do your own thing, do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, I don't go to a lot of those sites for that very reason, because they're depending on the clicks of the Sony fanboys. Those are the people they care about. They pander to them, and that's why, you know, journalism is dead as far as I'm concerned. You're going to get more journalistic integrity from fucking YouTube, which is sad at the end of the day.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
a good thing at the end of the day because you have actual gamers talking to the people. Like when do you actually you get to interact with people who can actually give you some insight and really they care about their trade. It doesn't happen a whole lot, and it's been known the alternative media is a way to go sometimes because that money is a motherfucker. People are influenced by it. People are really biased. They get into these ideas they have to do what their friend does. That's why the PlayStation's popular. Like out of all these games, like we've been saying, moving forward, out of all the games they've mentioned, like a lot of Sony fanboys like to bring up that argument. Well, it's been this long of a period of a drought, since you've had your Xbox game. Well, these Xbox games have longevity. They still haven't got one that has that longevity that can last for years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that moving forward at least, the Xbox One is going to hold it down, and the media, if they're going to do the same. They're going to do everything they can to fulfill that agenda. The system wasn't what what Microsoft said, even though they have more money. And that's the whole argument I end it every single time. It's money. It's money. I'm sorry, but it's a dog eat dog world. It's capitalism. If your competitor has more money for research and development, if they have more money to make their employees happier, offer them benefits, these things all apply. The products are better. The software is better. Everything is better. Like the morale is better. These things affect the final product. And you can tell Sony. That's what I mean. When I opened my PS4, I mean the package. It was it was in there. But when I opened the Xbox One, because I got the PS4 after the Xbox One, I returned it immediately. It wobbled. I've said this multiple times. But the packaging, you can immediately see from the packaging that Microsoft, well, the Xbox One, somebody went out of their way to say we really want to have the consumer open this up and it'd be relevant. And I've studied this in business school. That's why Apple do. That's why they do what they do. You open an Apple product, you know that you just opened a fucking Apple product, and that's the whole idea behind it. With the PlayStation,
dude, when I opened my day one Xbox One, it was so well packed. You know what I mean? Like you could tell, they was packed with care. It had quality packaging, a quality box, like a real thick gauge kind of box. When I opened my PS4, that thing was so thin. It was like fucking. It was like like that. Like it was just a little bit thicker than like cardboard, like paper. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous.
Right, crap, and it's like everything was just put in there. They were in plastic bags, and it was just kind of put in there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go get a PlayStation 4 from the store right now. I'll even go as far to say you can go to your local Walmart, Target, whatever. They're still using the same packaging for the DualShock 3 to the DualShock 4. It's slightly different, but it's not really different. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This money is not being spent on the shit that's right in front of your face. That's going to be the first deciding factor. Okay, this is the PS3. Oh, look at this new PS4 equipment. This is so different. I can immediately tell. With the Xbox, I can. It's packaged different. It's looked different. It's in a different location. And with the PlayStation, it seems like just on that side, you're lacking money and you can see it. So what happens behind the scenes? You have an entire network that's behind closed doors. What happens there? What happens with the games? What happens with the developers who are underfunded? And like I said, shit rolls downhill. Money goes up. Your money is, as a Sony fanboy, is going up somewhere, and it's disappearing into not liquidating this building or that. It's not going into the games, making you better games. It's going into saving their asses. Like Food just said, it. The company overall as a whole is going under. And
didn't Sony sell a lot of their buildings in Tokyo just to get the money for the R&D for the PS4?
Yeah, and they sold a third of their television division. They sold off the patents that they had for the television division. They sold off the PC division. They sold off a chunk of their cell phone division. And now they crowdfunded Shenmue 3, and they crowdfunded their new smartwatch that they got coming out. So they're selling everything and not paying for anything.
Well, the writing's on the wall. Then that's all I can say. You know,
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, like with Sony, right? They what they do is, and they make people act like, you know, believe that they're doing a lot better than they are when they announce their numbers or whatever, right? Because they'll flip flop from shipped to sold or whatever. But what they did was before this past quarter was up, remember they sold off their their online their community or whatever, their, you know, the ones that
Sony
did
Online Entertainment, right?
yeah, they sold Sony Online Entertainment, and then that adds to their revenue stream before a big announcement or whatever. As with Microsoft, they had this write down with this Nokia thing that they lost, right? They wanted to get that out of the way so that their next quarter is going to be really profitable, because you're going to have all the Xbox profits, which word is that Xbox profits are up. You know, Xbox Live profits are up. Of course, Windows 10 is going to help profits extremely. The fact that you can get things like Office and stuff on your iPhones and things like that is really going to help with that aspect as well. So Halo is going to yeah, I mean, look at this. Halo is launching in October. That's going to sell millions of consoles. You're going to see, mark my words, this Black Friday, you're going to see Xbox One consoles for $250, $275 max. That, I mean, that's going to sell a ton of consoles. If they don't sell, you know, I would say 2 million just off of Halo 5 alone, then I would say something's wrong, because that game looks phenomenal. And I think even the stingiest pony, even though they won't admit it, is going to grab that. Hey, what's up? We got hear ye. We got next gen 720 in the house.
What's today's topic? We talking about cocaine hookers? What we talking about?
Bacon grease.
Oh, we're talking about lots of different stuff. Next gen, you played Metal Gear, man. What do you think about that a little bit? Since we're talking games right now, what do you think about Metal Gear?
Is the cocaine of my life. Jesus. Oh, you didn't pick it up, right? I think Mooch get it.
No, I haven't picked it up. Yeah, Mooch picked it up, and I made fun of him a little bit because I was like exposed.
Yo, Zai, he actually sold me on that game. I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow, man.
Yeah. What's up, Iron Wolf?
Yo, what's
next
up,
gen, next gen. Be honest, did Microsoft pay you for that review, man? For you talking up of Metal Gear? Come on.
You know what's crazy though? You know, they just say they're some an asshole full of hate, and they just would have came to their fucking Xbox support. We support the motherfucker anyway. I could have used some of their cheddar. And yeah, what's those motherfuckers from? What's that? What's the name of their show? Not the No. What was the name of their show before though? On Machinima. Those asshats. You know what I'm talking about?
They're the ones that always talk shit on Xbox, dude.
Yeah, Dildo and Cockring. Those ones.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? But that's not for nothing though. Not the damage control. Companies have been doing that just since the turn of time. Paying, there's nothing different from paying a celebrity to endorse your product.
There's nothing crazy about one business company paying another business company for service.
Actually, like, yeah, we were just talking about that next gen. Yeah, basically what happens is Microsoft hired this PR company to do PR for them, right? They hired Machinima to do. What the hell is that?
Yo?
What up?
Fantasy football. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're in fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's how you got Tom Brady in.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, so what I was saying was, yeah, they hired a third-party PR company, and then this company went and got in contact with Machinima and said, hey, let's do some product placements and things like this, advertise our products. Machinima were the ones that decided not to come forward and say this is a paid thing. That wasn't something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a shady deal like Microsoft was behind that per se. Machinima was the one that faced the FTC fines, and then I also got done saying that Sony were the ones that directly were fined by the FTC for misleading consumers and lying and things like that. So I think that a lot of people, like, I got message out of the woodwork, man. People were like, "Oh, you're gonna talk about this biased media," and Microsoft was buying off the media, and I'm like, "You gotta be crazy, man." Are you crazy? And people act like we say that Sony actually quote-unquote buys media. It's not like that. What happens is these sites get paid based on clicks, and so they pander to the pro-Sony audience. And what gives clicks? Oh, you say something about resolution or how the PS4 has better resolution or better this or better that, and that's going to get clicks, and that's what they do.
5 reasons why the PS4 is going to continue to outsell the Xbox One and all this weird shit. Like, God, every week it's the same goddamn article. The top 15 reasons why the PS4 is going to still ahead this generation. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what? At the end of the day, let's say this one thing for you. Hit me with the gong, snatch my ass off the stage. But I will be goes back to about gaming. Get back to about gaming. You know what I mean? Whether you're a pony, a Wii U weirdo, Wii U homo, whatever the fuck you want, whatever color flag that you wave, it can be a rainbow flag. I wouldn't give a fuck. But once, when we all partake, quote unquote, in this console, well, for shits and giggles, I don't take it seriously. I know you don't take it seriously. Ain't like we outside in the street fighting some imaginary war. Regardless of what others may lead you to believe, it's not that's not on not on our end. But I'll be glad we can sit back and just talk about the game. Who has the better exclusives? You know what I mean? Who has the better? What console has the better features? All this other shit doesn't make any. We talking about console gamers. We're arguing about shit, like we got some, souped up rigs, right? We're talking about the $300, $400 consoles, not fucking Ferraris or anything like that. So that's when I'll be glad when I get this talking about, gaming, and these sites are they're how you say, crap. We get a lot of blame for so quote unquote keeping this shit going. It's not us. We're just responding to back what's out there. They're the one that's spearheading this shit, not us.
Oh, next gen. I get this a lot, right? They're like, why don't you keep it gaming? Stop talking about PS4. And I'm like, dude, if we didn't talk about PS4, about what's really going on, nobody would, because none of these big sites cover the negative side of the PS4. Everybody just think it's fucking sunshine and lollipops on the PlayStation 4 side. And the minute I see some of these big sites talking about that lackluster PS4 lineup, how they fucking basically half-assed their way to this generation, when I see sites really talking about this stuff, that's when I can stop talking about it. You know what I mean? Mission accomplished. The day is done. I can. I'll be like Blackie. I'll head into my comment section with my D-Day hat on and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even fuck no more, man. This console shit is out of control. You gotta go in hard, or you fucking lose your fucking life and your mind fighting ass pirates on the internet. Hey, you bought the wrong console. Sony, they're not gonna stop screwing you this generation or next year. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, come on, man, take it easy. I shouldn't have to fuck, like Crap said, I should have to put on, like, military gear and shit.
I'm gonna put on some military gear, walk in a GameStop. Like, the day we win, I'm gonna make us T-shirts. I'm gonna have a banner. I'm gonna pop some bubbly. I'm gonna buy us some cigars. It's gonna be a good day.
Dude, when this generation is over, I'm sporting a shirt that says "I survived the console war, PS4 versus Xbox One." Seriously, I've never seen.
Cars.
Yeah.
I've never seen a generation that has been like this ever. I've always had both or all the consoles every generation, so it's very upsetting to see that it's got this far. I would sit there, and we started off talking about like the good stuff, like Gears, how good that is. The Forza demo, unbelievable. But it's sad that Xbox fans, it is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what the sad part about that is, we can't enjoy that without getting messaged by what the Sony fanboys did. They took the worst possible Forza screenshots and then placed them up against like these doctored up rendered Drive Club screenshots, right?
Yeah. You know what? I want to say this again. Even when we do videos just talking about something, again, like these motherfuckers are bipolar or something, because, prime example, I did a video yesterday. Fuck all the jokes and stuff I crack, but just talking about how I've always said I'm not a big on the Motorsport series, but I'm liking Forza Motorsport 6. I'm going to buy that. I like the Horizon series better, but I like the way the car handles it. I was able to not be all over the road and shit. I was driving, maybe because I had a steering wheel. I don't know. But anyway, but even when I do, if you like the Xbox, I didn't say shit about Sony. I didn't say one goddamn thing. It doesn't look better than Drive Club. If you are going to seriously compare Drive Club against fucking Forza 6, you need to, again, run your hand into some ice cold water for about 15, 20 minutes. Then I want you to sit on your hand. Then I want you to stand on your hand and slap the shit out yourself. And pretend it's me. You know what I mean? Your hand goes numb. Slap the shit out yourself.
Understand what you got, man, and what's going on. I think that, and this is my honest opinion, when have you ever seen this much of a dynamic in a generation, in a console generation? I mean, you're talking about Microsoft has been, from the get-go, this is a bad choice for the consumer. You don't want it. They're against gaming and all this. And then at the same time, whenever the systems launch, the Xbox is getting all these features. They're listening to the consumers. They're getting out some really good quality AAA games, damn near quadruple A games. We mentioned that in this podcast. These games are getting really good with all the technology they're putting in there. All of this is happening and you have on the other side the PS4. You were promised all this greatness, and it's not happening. And so these motherfuckers are bipolar. This is why it's the worst generation, because all the other generations, at least the fucking PlayStation, had some games. 3 years in, they had some games. There were some games. You weren't fucking talking about soccer cards. I mean, if you would have said that shit about the PS2 era, you like real gamers back then, if you would have showed them soccer cards and say this is gonna be the hot shit you're playing on the PS4, you fucking gave up back then. It would have been over. But that's what I mean. The media said.
Hey, Blackie, I just want to say something. That is probably one of the best points I've ever heard you make, dude. That is 100% true.
Absolutely.
If you had because you know what, PS2 games were looking better than soccer cars back then. You know what I mean?
You know, all the generations before, they had something. There was something there that they could say, well, we got a Tomb Raider game. We have a Metal Gear game. The PS2 era, Resident Evil was big on there. I remember. They had Twisted Metal, the PS3, they had Metal Gear Solid 4. Why am I picking up Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Xbox One? This is a problem. Yep. I shouldn't be doing that. Last generation, I had to get a PS3 for Metal Gear Solid 4. And now
that's why I got one.
You know, and you're speaking.
That's why I got one too.
And you're speaking the truth, man.
That they don't have nothing. They don't have anything. You look what though? That's it's behind on the Xbox. You look at the games. It's the same thing. You look at the satisfaction of your consumers and like Microsoft. It's not even close. Like the people who bought this console, you can tell that there's some people who aren't satisfied, like there's always going to be, but like I said, I've heard a lot of people say, man, I don't play this PS4, it just sits around. At least with Xbox, like I said, they have stuff for you, and you're at a point now, you're 3 years in, and these people are really pissed off. Like, you want to talk about your Forza, fuck you, Crap Gamer, I'm going to show you Drive Club, because they got water. Like, it's like, hey, man, a year and a half late or whatever, they lied to you about releasing it on PS Plus, and there was all this mess.
And that's a good point. Like
against a big hit title like Forza, which is exponentially, there's more detail in it as far as amount of cars, the detail inside the cars, the sound in the cars. The
sound is awesome.
I can go on and on.
You can tune it up. You can customize the paint. You can do all that 24-player races. It's not shitty AI.
Like, so many people that where I live, especially in the local stores near where I live, so many people are returning back their PS4. I'm not even lying. When I went to the store, I saw like so many piles. You could make a whole mountain out of those piles. That's how bad it is. And people are just buying Xbox Ones. And Gears of War is the #1 selling game in the UK at this point. Earlier this month, it was the Rare Replay.
Yeah.
I could confidently say that the Xbox One has won the MPDs for this month.
Hey, Iron Wolf, I don't think you were in here, or maybe you were when we were talking about this a little bit. I said it was probably very deliberate for Microsoft to release games that the UK and the US are both going to like a lot. Like Rare Replay did well in the UK. Then it's going to be released by Gears, which is #1. Forza does good in the UK. That's probably going to be #1. And then you'll have Halo 5. That's going to be #1 over there. You know what I mean? So you're going to have these back-to-back hits for the UK and North America, because those are the two most important areas.
Markets for them.
And it's the second biggest market for Microsoft is the UK. I think the third is Australia or Brazil. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Australia. Then it's Australia.
Yeah.
Then maybe Mexico, maybe then Brazil or something, or Canada.
Or Latin America or something like that.
But Canada's considered North America. But I want to say this. If you think about this, the PS4 came out in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. November 2013. November 14th, 18th or something, whatever the fuck it was, 2000.
Yeah, like November 12th or 14th, some shit, yeah.
Okay, now if you think about this, and I'm going to be fair, I'm going to call a spade, but if you think about I'm not talking about multiplex, because multiplex you can get on every platform, every jump. I'm talking about exclusives.
Yeah.
That you can only find and play on the PlayStation 4. In 3 years, Sony does not have one. Well, you know what? When I say AAA, that appeal to different, not just your hardcore gamer, a niche crowd, because they did have Bloodborne, but they don't have not one AAA game like that's going to appeal to the masses. And their first AAA game, and again, Street Fighter is big. I give them that. That's a huge game. But again, not everyone likes fighters, so maybe their first AAA game is going to be Uncharted. So we're talking about damn near 4 years into this console life cycle. You know what I mean? And you take a game like what's it Until Dawn? Who the fuck is talking about that anymore?
Nobody.
It's already one and done.
It's already $40 next week at Best Buy too. So.
Yeah, no one's even talking about the goddamn game. It should have been the game should have been $30 from the beginning. I told you it's not a $60 game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just think about that. Sony is looking to spend as little money as possible and make as much money as they can. They're not only are they, PlayStation PSN is not free anymore, but what the fuck are they doing with this money? I understand the PlayStation division is giving lights on, but what are they doing with the money?
You're really broke, brother. What do you do, man? You do exactly what you just said, man. You try to make as much as you possibly can.
I understand. That is the business way. I get it. This is a business. Don't get me wrong. Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, that is the way. Understand, they stay, to keep profits up, is to spend. But again, us as consumers, we're the ones spearheading this. Like, if you don't start to voice your concerns, how many fucking remasters are they going? That's why you have this quote unquote this service PlayStation Now. It's for those that you say didn't get the chance to play, the Uncharted series or whatever. They can go in there and rent it, however the service works. Fine. So you can't really even justify that. But I'm not even saying, you say fine. Microsoft just gave us a Gears. We talk about a game that's been out over 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not just scrapping and say, hey, and at least for Microsoft, they do have the decency to do. They're going to remaster the game. They at least remaster, at least give you new audio, new visuals. Sony just stepping a 1080p sticker and 60 frames a second, and that's it.
Next gen, man, I feel honestly like you have two different mindsets. Xbox, you just think of it like this. They're willing to spend money on servers to push the innovation of cloud computing, right? Sony, on the other hand, they're going to spend money on servers so they can charge you to play your own fucking games. Like, just think about that just of itself. They're going to spend money on their technology to push things further, and they don't know if they're going to get any of that back. That's a real risk.
Bro,
PlayStation Now, they know they got some suckers that are going to get this PS4. It's not going to have backwards compatibility, and they're going to spend that money on it. So it's the mindset of the two different companies, and that's why I really honestly feel I've got a good investment. I feel like I'm a smart consumer. With this right here, definitely. I've made some mistakes, but I feel like a smart consumer, and I feel like my money's in the right place.
Nobody's buying. The thing is that this company is going belly up. It is dying. It's going to fall apart. Now, I personally believe PlayStation will stick around. They'll break that off into its own company. But I think Sony.
They did. Well, what they did was they broke off everything else. So they didn't actually break off PlayStation, but they broke off everything else. So that PlayStation is going to be all that's left.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And do they even want hardware? Do they even want a dedicated hardware machine next gen? I'm not even sure that they want that. They want something that's why they've invested into this Gaikai stuff, because they want very little hardware expense, and they just want people to, hey, if you buy a TV, you can play PlayStation games. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what they're selling.
They also bought the online patents as well. Those online patents.
But just think about what you said. You do, and it's crazy. Crap, I did a video about this about a year and a half ago. I got called everything but a child of God, right?
I know. Dude, you're always getting trashed on and me too, man. We'll say stuff.
Again, some of this shit is just common sense. It's common sense, and it's not something. Oh, you guys are always spreading misinformation. Oh my God, this is you talking about someone spreading misinformation. What about that skinny motherfucking weirdo, Mark Cerny? The cloud computing is not real. What about that misinformation that motherfucker spread? But anyway, as I was saying, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But if all arrows and all indication is pointing, they want to get out of their hardware business. They got rid of the PC thing. They're looking to get out of the cell phone thing. They're looking to get out of the because it costs. If you go back to what's the motherfucker? What's the asshole that used to work for Microsoft? What's his name?
Don Matrick.
Phil
Yeah, if you
Harrison.
go back, Don Matrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, if you go back and remember, before we got seen, so what the goddamn Steam Machine was, and we were like, oh shit, the Steam Machine, like Val's looking to get into the living rooms and into the console, and one thing that you can call him what you want, but Don Matrick is a smart businessman. He said to them, he said, you know what, I don't know, man, it costs a lot of money to be in the hardware business. You know what I mean? Why do you think Valve is not doing their own dedicated Steam Machine? They're looking at the Hewlett Packard and Dell and this one and Levino and all these different companies to make their hardware. Sony wants to get out of the goddamn hardware business. You know what I mean? That's why they're trying. Just think about it. I know the fanboys don't want to hear it. They were talking about how Microsoft was looking to spin off the Xbox division. Just think about this. Sony has a lot of classics, IPs. Just think about that. Maybe they can still do their, exclusives or whatever the fuck make their, and have you stream them to your TV or have you stream them to your whatever the fuck, your tablet, plug the control up to it, and charge us $20 a month. Motherfuckers are signing up for that shit in droves.
So do you think that if they just get rid of hardware and go services only, do you think they'll survive? Because you got to remember but think about this. They had their music service and it failed, right? And then they had their they do Sony Pictures, right? And that's a service they provide us essentially. And now they're partnering with other studios so that they don't have to pay for the whole thing.
But here's the thing: all those things that you named are not as popular as the PlayStation brand. You know what I mean? We talking about they're leading this generation. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, love it, hate it. You know what I mean? The PlayStation brand is strong, and not just here in North America, globally. That's one thing Microsoft doesn't have yet. That PlayStation brand has been around for years. It's like actually more popular than Nintendo. Besides in Japan, I don't know, they go back and forth, but globally, that's you got those little countries like Madrid and this. All they play is the PlayStation, you know what I mean? Fuck the Xbox, get the fuck out of here. This is petty, man. You know what I mean? All they fucking play is PlayStation. So, you know what I mean? If you can get, your next generation games, or whatever the fuck the case may be, and you can stream, I'm not saying I want the console market to go this way, but all indications that it can. And even you had the exec from Sony said, they don't know, they're looking into a cloud-based console next generation. You had another article came out from Taiwan that Sony has ceased production into their, once one console comes out, they already starting the R&D on the next big thing to do. They don't just sit back and just wait. No, they're already working on the next Xbox, the next PlayStation, the next Nintendo. That's how they stay afloat.
I was gonna say, like, everybody on this panel can agree that PlayStation now is dead on arrival, right? We can all agree that, right?
Yeah,
they can never talk about that. They can never talk about that now since Xbox One does backwards compatibility. They can't. I mean, they'll get laughed right out.
Right. Yeah, it's dead. Now, why don't they just use those servers for PlayStation Now and improve PSN or turn them into dedicated
No. I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between putting PlayStation 3 games on PS Now and putting PS4 games on PlayStation Now? Think about it. What's the difference?
Well, you get other features by having the PS4 there. You get like your Blu-ray player and such like that.
I'm saying, fine. You can still buy movies digitally. You can buy a movie digitally and see the same high definition quality as a Blu-ray player, as a DVD. So a lot of people are digital. But what's the difference between putting the PS4 game on the cloud, streaming it, and then putting the PS3 game or PS2 game?
Because the PS4 game is not going to work too well. They just higher graphics, so I guess.
No, they just share play though. You could do it from share play.
You're doing it now in share play.
You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now in share play.
There's no difference.
But I haven't played it. I've just heard that the PS Now is okay, but there is some lag and stuff. So I
mean anything online, you're gonna have some
game with more graphics. It would be a little bit more. It would take up more information.
No, you can do it now with SharePlay. This is bullshit.
I've seen this before. Back when OnLive came out, I was so pumped for that, right?
Go, online.
But when OnLive failed because you had to be online no matter what, and you couldn't really own your game, and you have to stream it, and there's latency issues, and you have to have a certain internet package.
There's
so many factors.
New console. That's cloud-based.
You know,
You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is that there's a gamer out there every generation that comes out, right? We hear about the people that don't want to be online and the people that do want to be online. If they come out with just online service, there goes 100% of the people that don't want to play online. You
And guess
lost
what?
100% of them.
Listen, if that's the way the industry is going, I'm gonna stop playing games. I'm just gonna, you know what? That's it. If Grandma, bring me home a Sudoku book. I'm gonna do this crossword puzzle with you. You're not gonna stop gaming. Look how much his gaming had. If you'd have told you, bro, listen, I'm 37 years old. My first console was the NES, and I couldn't fathom. You understand what I'm saying? The things that I'm doing now, dating back to back then. Remind you, when you got a cartridge, there was no update. There was no going back patching this. There was nothing. If the goddamn game had bugs, it had bugs. Now, if something comes out fucked up, they're able to go back in. Once a game shipped back then, that was it. Just look at how much it's evolved. And the people that are complaining about online, they're complaining about this shit online.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Microsoft wanted to push everything forward.
Everything's connected.
Microsoft wanted to innovate. Sony wanted everybody to be held back. That's why I think that the cloud computing is going to have a hard time on third-party games because Sony's not going to want to help push that, even if it's.
But I mean, even with that crap, you know what? As far as with third-party, well, Microsoft has to spearhead that.
You know what? Crap.
They have to grab the book because this is their baby. You know, you can't. That's like if I'm making this $15 million Bugatti. I can't, you know, I have to be the one and advertise this car to the rich people and say, you know what, you need this car or whatever the goddamn case may be. Microsoft, from going at the crackdown in 2006, every game that comes out that's exclusive from Microsoft, only third-party deals and second-party deals they do, going forward should use the cloud. There's no more excuses. You know what I mean? You know, and I expect, you know, whether it be maybe, you know, we still don't know much about Sea of Thieves, but anything going forward after Crackdown.
They say it's an MMO. It's an MMO.
Okay, but anything going forward after Crackdown should have some forward of cloud computing if they want this to be successful.
But Crap has a good point. You know, the third-party developers, they want that whole parity. They don't want one version of their game being better than the other. So if they start using PlayStation's crappy-ass cloud service and then
it's not the same thing.
Xbox's, but he has a good point there. You know, and then another thing is if you have 100% of your games using the cloud service, or it being online only in 15, 20 years from now when I want to.
I'm not negating any of that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if Microsoft wants their project to be successful, I'm saying going forward, anything that they do, all of their exclusives, all these, you know, they spent $2 billion on these exclusive IPs, and they're doubling down on their own. They're not doing any more of these third-party deals. So going forward, anything that they're doing, anything that they're involved in. Prime example. Remember when Xbox Live first came out in 2002, and then every exclusive from Microsoft came out and had that Xbox Live logo. Don't give a fuck about the leaderboards or whatever. Microsoft spearheaded that. They made that now you don't think about it now. Xbox Live is second nature. You know, Microsoft had to grab the industry by his hand, and you know, because Sony was still doing dial-up, and you know what I mean. And Sony was, you know, then was a much bigger, you know, company than Microsoft, had a bigger market share. But you know what? We didn't second guess it anymore. What dial-up? AOL? Yeah, hello. The fuck is that? No one's thinking about that anymore.
The thing is about Microsoft. Thing about Microsoft is that they made broadband online gaming on console
mandatory. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
Standard. That's what they did.
Yeah. So from going forward, anything that Microsoft, it's an exclusive. I'm not talking about third party because that's what's going to happen. In my heart of hearts, I'm banking on that these, and then they are artists, and you want your creative side to kick in. And Microsoft said, you know, they're not opposed for Sony or a third party using it. Fine, that's not the issue. But they're going to start to see games like if Crackdown is going to be what it's going to be, and we're all going to have Activision is going to want that next Crackdown. You understand that? What? Who the fuck wants to play Destiny? What Destiny? You can't shoot. Everything's not destructible. You understand what I'm saying? So going forward, you know, I believe Crackdown is going to set the standard. Hold on, that's my wife. Yes.
It'll set the standard.
Yeah,
I feel like
2 cheeseburgers and fries and a large. Listen, you know, a large orange drink. I get the money. A large, not no medium, large.
Let me get a large pizza.
Yeah, but as I was saying, Microsoft has to spearhead it, and then like I said, if I believe in my heart of hearts that Crackdown is going to set the bar. So guess what? When the next Halo, the next Gears comes out, Xbox fans, what? It's not 100% destructible. What? You know what I mean? So what's this new mode that Microsoft has in Halo? This war thing or something?
Warzone.
Could you imagine that using the fucking cloud? Right
It
now,
does
your
use the
wheels are
cloud.
already turning, right? Like, goddamn, what? Fuck that. Bacon grease. Like, you already want that bacon grease. You want that. You know
Doesn't
what
Warzone already use the cloud though? I believe they do.
That's what I'm talking about for. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, for like I think it's like
They're using it for AI, and they're using it obviously for
I'm talking about
dedicated
100%.
servers.
Like Crackdown's using it.
Yeah, that's right. They're using it for the
Could you imagine
servers and AI.
Titanfall with that? Could
It's
you imagine Titanfall with that? Can you?
I think
Titanfall? Could you imagine Titanfall with that?
We'll move into the future like that. I believe there'll be games that will do that. I think Crackdown physics will be standard.
That's all that I'm saying. There you go. I'm just saying, and for them, if Microsoft, they spent billions of dollars on this, okay, now, and I don't pay Microsoft as being any dummies. It's like they spent billions of dollars on the Xbox Live. Even Bill Gates was like, we gotta find some way for this shit to work with dial-up. No, it ain't gonna work with dial-up. You know what I mean? Now it's like I said, you're talking about if us using it's been so much, and I gotta take my hat off to Microsoft. If it's one feather I gotta take out their head and put it my own, is let the motherfuckers talk. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers talking about Jesus. People call Microsoft everything but a child of God. That's something that I always said. We talking about Danny, $1 trillion company. We're not talking about some goddamn CNC fucking little fucking corner cheap ass soda. We talking about the Pepsi and the goddamn Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? Like, I never pegged them as being liars. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not talking about a company that's selling them. You understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about a company that said, you know what, get used to 120 frames a second, 1080p native. They were saying that shit 10, 12 years ago. And they don't have not one AAA exclusive that's 1080p, 60 frames a second. You understand what I'm saying? This is Sony's track record. So when Microsoft says this, you know what, they came out first, they said 30 times the computing power. Now they scaled it back down to 20. But, I'm just, whatever the goddamn case may be.
It's really 30 though, man. But
whatever the case may be, if we're using this shit and we're playing with it and we see how much you got Crackdown without it and you got Crackdown with it, you know what, I like Crackdown with it and all our games can be like this or better, but we got to be connected. Gamers up and the drones are going to line up. This is the new thing right here, man. You can run out of goddamn M. You picking up rocks like in Palestine, throwing goddamn stones. Oh, shit, he stoned that motherfucker. You know what I mean? This is how you can blow up gas lines in this game. But
you're going to get the media and the Sony fans still complaining about it, saying that, it's still DRM. You need to be online to play that.
Everything that's digital online is DRM. Like Sony, stop it. Even, with the share play, everything. Listen, I mean, I'm sad to say everything's, digitally wise is DRM. So, but everyone complained about about Xbox 5 years ago. Oh, you're gonna have this and it's $40 a month. No one's talking about that anymore.
There's no excuse for you to not have internet. Like, everybody on this damn planet, even if you have fucking dial-up, believe it or not, I think there's still 2 million people on the planet using dial-up, but those fucking people are online. So these services are pretty much standard. Nobody should be able to complain about that. And if they don't like cloud gaming, then why are they playing PSN now, which is garbage?
Yeah, well, whatever the case, but even you see the new technology.
Those are complaining about always online. They're online complaining. So why are you online in the first place?
But not even that.
Like,
even if
you look at it.
Look, though, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. These people were gonna find something to complain about Xbox no matter what. It didn't matter what it was. They just, they lashed onto this and complained. But it could have been just about anything, and they would still be complaining just the same. I think it's ridiculous, and it just goes to show that the hate is a lot deeper than, they tried to do this or tried to do that. It all comes down to finding a reason to prefer your particular piece of plastic.
Let me ask you a question. I might ask everyone, you can take your chance to answer the same question here. Do you think now that, what's going with what we're seeing now with the whole thing with the whole DX12 and the cloud and all this shit, do you think Microsoft wish they would have stuck to their guns back then?
I don't know, because I think that they're doing really well right now. So I think that what they have to do is that maybe that was too much of a change right away. Whereas I think that Sony tried not to change enough. Microsoft probably changed a little bit too much right away. So I think that what they're doing is slowly, Crackdown is that first step for that. And if that goes over well.
You know what, crap? What hindered Microsoft is not what's in. If you think about this, I'm just thinking about this. It wasn't so much about the online. What hindered Microsoft the most out of the gate was their price tag. Their biggest competitor was $100 cheaper, and the Xbox One was perceived to be the far inferior console. So if one thing they could have done, if Microsoft would have took the Kinect out of the box and gave people a choice, you understand what I'm saying? I don't think, and again, it had been, it had been a whole different console race. If they took that Kinect out of the box back then and put that shit out there for $350, I don't think it had been even we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's what it was,
I think they'll be ahead.
Yeah, just think about that. You know what I mean? That's what really online Xbox gamers are used to being online. We're Xbox gamers. It is what it is. You know what I mean? A lot of people had a lot of, and again, it seems like they're pushing the Kinect to the side now. I like the goddamn Kinect. I've been doing videos on my Xbox One. I got about 6 of them waiting on hard for me to upload. The Kinect is a nice piece of goddamn, especially if you're into live streaming and all that stuff. But there seem like they're pushing that to the side, and you got the new Pro controller. This is gonna be, I guess, their new peripheral. But had they just took I guess how do you say, swallowed their pride a little bit, took the Kinect out of the box, and
Yo, guys, I gotta roll, man. I gotta get out of here. It's like
all right, later, Blackie, man.
Take it easy,
took the Kinect out of the box, and and gave the consumer the choice of $350 and $350 or bundle one with $450, whatever. I think that again was their biggest problem. That their biggest competitor was $100 cheaper. Then you had the whole Call of Duty thing, 720p, and just what I mean. That's what fucked them up.
Yeah, they took a hit on that. Took a massive hit. Yeah.
But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, but like we said, the developers never had the SDKs, and the Xbox One, it wasn't supposed to launch in November 2013. We all know that.
Yeah. I think going by, I'm gonna shut the fuck up after this. I think if they can, maybe go back and maybe have their ducks one in a row. With the whole, because they can talk about it till they blow it. Because after that, Microsoft had to hate. Like they still kind of quiet about. It's been more third party. Besides, the only big wig that came out and gave the praise really of DX12 was Aaron Greenberg. He said games that DX12 was going to a 50% boost. You know what I mean? That's the only, if you think about it, this is a big wig. He's the only one that really come out and said anything. But you had third-party developers come out and said that their games can be patched with DirectX 12 on Windows 10. Now, Windows 10 and the Xbox One share the same DX12 code, both x86. So if they can patch it on the PC on Windows 10, they can also patch it on the goddamn Xbox One. Just think about that. Yeah,
we were talking about that a little bit earlier as well.
It's not me wishing thinking, and I got to call everything but a child of God. With some of that shit there, but to me, we talk about Microsoft's own hardware, Microsoft's own API. We're not talking about some third parties. This is theirs. Why the fuck would they invest billions of dollars into some new technology and then they have a new API come out 5 months after the console comes out? That they come on, man.
Yeah, but we have the EA technical director of Frostbite, Johan Anderson. He basically said he wants all EA games to run on DirectX 12 by the end of 2016. And we have developers, from the Division and so many other people, all these other developers at Ubisoft. They want this API to be an industry standard.
Oh, it will be. DirectX is the industry standard.
Yeah, but they want DirectX 12. People have to migrate over to that now.
Here's the thing: when DirectX 11 came out, no one's still coding for DirectX. Only one of the consoles, Direct. That's the industry. Actually, honestly, it saves them money. They were able to port games from the PC. All games are made on PC first, but over to the. They were able to port games from the PC to the console in a day. You know how many man hours that's cutting?
I just feel as though developers are scared right now to use DirectX 12, or even because they know if they if the Xbox One version outshines the PS4, then the PS4 guys they're not gonna buy it. You know what I mean? The PS4 fan base, they probably boycott the game or whatever. You know how they reacted over GTA.
No, I don't think
they'll still buy it. They're delusional.
Yeah, they're gonna buy it, but they're not gonna stop playing games. But I don't. What it is, I think. Well, I think what maybe what happened. Maybe they won't let the Xbox version outshine the PlayStation 4. They might just leave them even. I can see that maybe happening. But but even like you said, even when that with the DirectX 11, from what I've learned, from what I heard, and this came from two developers. The Xbox One wasn't really made to use DirectX 11. It's a nuisance for it. It's made. They call it a DirectX 12 machine behind it. That's what they call the Xbox One. And two different developers have told me this. They called it a DirectX 12 machine. You know what I mean? And this is back. This is we talking about. Hey, crap! When was them guys?
No, but Zaire. DirectX 12 is only a PC thing, though. It's only a PC thing, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It is.
Yeah, it only improves tablets and phones and everything, but yeah, it's not going to do anything.
Everything but the Xbox One. And you got motherfuckers like the Rich. I told you guys, the DirectX was not going to do shit for the Xbox One. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, they're crazy. Everything that we've been saying for the last several months, bro, is coming to fruition.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? All this cool stuff is hitting Xbox at just the right time, right for the holiday.
Yes.
All these games, you know, we had Rare Replay, Gears, Forza, Halo, Tomb Raider.
Actually, this is something I haven't had it.
No, Fable Legends. That's going to be the first DirectX 12 game, Fable Legends.
When does that come out?
Awesome.
Supposedly October.
Now that's not gonna be a physical copy. It's only they're only doing the digital thing, right?
Yeah, they're doing digital thing.
I think that they might do a physical release.
They did a digital. I mean, they did a physical for fucking what's that, Sparks or what was it?
Yeah, Project Spark. Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, they did. I hope they do a physical. I mean, I like Fable. You know, I'm a Fable dude. You know,
but you have the option just to buy. I think
straight out.
You could unlock everything.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend $60 and you know just have everything. They said they're not gonna. You can. I think they're gonna do it more like Killer Instinct. They give you a character-based hero, something that you may have for this month that you can go straight through the game with, or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna $60 and buy it. I'm gonna support it. I like Fable. I like what I played in the demo. You know what I mean? It's pretty as hell. I didn't like being the enemy. That wasn't my thing. It's more like an RTS. The bad guy making the creatures come up that, but when you were the hero, like some of those ice particles, like god damn, this shit was beautiful. You know what I mean?
Well, that game looks interesting than anything on the PS4, like for the rest of this year, and that's a fact.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I would rather play that than that goddamn dope fiend game. What's that shit? Bloodborne. Fucking hitting something with the dope fiend. No, hitting something, pulling out the fucking needle, stabbing yourself in the ass. You know what I mean? I would rather play that than I'm not into Bloodborne. Take two steps. The whole what's the name of the series? What's the name of that? Deep. What's the name? Deep. What's the name of the goddamn series? Crap.
Which one?
The Bloodborne is under. What's the name?
Oh, Dark Souls. Dark Souls.
I'm not a fan. Take two steps forward and take back. I'm just not into that. That's just not my thing.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, then the electric slide, man.
Yeah, you know.
I ain't got time for that shit.
I'm not knocking those that like it. You know, it's just I'm not into games that make me want to punch myself in the balls. It's extremely hard, and I like to have fun. I don't want to be frustrated. To me, that's gaming. You can call me a casual, whatever the fuck. But a dude, bro, I like to have fun, not be frustrated. I don't mind a little challenge, but goddamn.
Oh, exactly. But man, this thing's going on for about 2 hours.
Oh, should I missed it? Fuck you guys, man.
This Sunday though, this Sunday is actually my rotation for BGST.
Awesome.
So it'll be on my channel this Sunday at 8 Eastern. Yeah, so it'll be cool. We'll have Next Gen. Make sure you guys check out Next Gen's channel. Make sure you guys check out Iron Wolf and Too Much Food and Blackie and Mooch, who isn't even here.
Mooch got arrested, Joe. You heard that?
I heard he was at a Donald Trump rally. That's what I heard.
Yeah, arrested.
Oh, we got Blaze here.
Mooch was the only white motherfucker there talking about Black Lives Matter. They locked his white ass up.
I think Blazing Phoenix had the best argument though.
Yeah, I think you know what, it's all good, man. I appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. We had a good time. I appreciate you guys in the audience checking it out. You know, it's always a good time back and forth. I got to comment in the chat box a little bit more than usual tonight. Make sure you guys be good to each other, man. You know, it's awesome. So anyway, man, I appreciate it. Thanks, Next Gen, Blackie, Too Much Food, Iron Wolf, everybody. Oh, Blazing Phoenix, is that you?
Yeah, that's why I said him.
When the hell did you get in here, bro?
Too late.
Like 30 seconds ago.
You know what? Hey, Blazing Phoenix, man, I'll get you in like next week or something. All right, bro?
No problem.
Hey, give us a Keep It Xbox.
You know, keep it Xbox, everybody. You know, we took a lot of shit from the Sony fans, but we're coming back this year.
Oh, absolutely, man. What game are you looking forward to most this year, Phoenix?
Of course, Halo 5 looks absolutely incredible. That's opening cinematic. I'm so excited for that. Quantum Break between 16, that looks amazing. And I'm probably selling my PS4 soon.
Oh.
Yo, I'm
Dude.
with you, Blaze, on that one, man.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is Iron Wolf sold his PS4 before. Who the hell? Blackie, who was in here earlier, sold his PS4 before. I boxed mine up actually until I saw they had a sale on Peggle 2, and then I unboxed it and was like, whatever. But yeah, so I think that that's actually more the norm. I'm not saying nobody sells their Xbox One, but I do notice a lot more people not exactly thrilled with the PS4 lineup, so that's always interesting. Thank you guys all for joining us, man. I appreciate it. You're a little bit late, Blazing. I could have had you in here earlier. Would have loved to
Yeah.
have you in here. A lot of people ask about it, man. This is an open forum. Hopefully you guys can, come in once. I might even do a different one and get you just a random one to get you guys in. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Rack 'em up.
Keep it Xbox.
Xbox is the best box.
Oh,
Later.
yeah.